Copenhagen in 3 days packed itinerary. You'll be amazed how much you can pack into 3 days in Copenhagen using this itinerary. It includes top museums like Carlsberg Glyptotek Museum, the National Gallery of Denmark, the National Museum, and the Danish Design Center. You'll see must-see attractions like the Little Mermaid, Tivoli Gardens, Copenhagen Cathedral, and Christiansborg Palace, as well as Nyhavn, Amalienborg Palace, and Frederkskirke. You can even pack in a visit to the Round Tower, Rosenborg Castle, the Town Hall, our Saviour's Church, the Royal Library, and the Botanical Gardens. Day 1, starting from Little Mermaid through the Nyhavn, and ending at the Carlsberg Glyptotek Museum. Start time, 9:45. Little Mermaid duration, 30 minutes. The mermaid statue sitting on top of a small rock was inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale of the same name. It is located on the Langelinie Promenade in Copenhagen Harbor and can be seen on a boat cruise of the harbor or by getting there overland. The bronze statue was commissioned by Carl Jacobsen of Carlsberg beer fame and created by Edvard Eriksson, 1876-1959. In 1913, Jacobsen was enamored with the ballet about the mermaid fairy tale, and he asked prima ballerina Ellen Price de Plane of the Copenhagen Royal Ballet to pose for the sculpture, but she declined because of the nudity. Instead, the artist used Aline Eriksson, his wife, as the model, although it is believed that the ballet dancer posed for the sculpture of the face. 1.3 km, 16 mins walking start time, 10:30. Frederikskirke duration, 45 minutes. This beautiful church in the Fredrikstaden district is also known as the Marble Church because of the Rococo architecture. Construction began in 1740 as part of the 300-year Jubilee celebrations of the House of Oldenburg, and the chosen architect was Nikolai Eitved. 2 km, 2 minutes walking start time, 11:15. Amalienborg Palace duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. This large palace complex is the Danish royals' winter home. 4 identical palaces face onto an open courtyard where visitors can stand and gaze at the beautiful buildings. It is also where the changing of the guard takes place and where you can see a statue of King Frederick V, 1771. The palace was constructed in the 1700s and is a fine example of Danish Rococo architecture. The 4 palace buildings are Christian VII's Palace, Moltke's Palace, which is used to house guests, Christian VIII's Palace, Levetzau's Palace, which is used by Prince Joachim and Princess Benedicta, Frederick VIII's Palace, Brockdorf's Palace, home of the Crown Prince and his family, and the Christian Knight's Palace, Schack's Palace, which is home to the Queen and Prince Consort. A raised flag above the Queen's Palace means she is at home. 0.7 km, 8 mins walking start time, 12:55. Nyhavn duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. As the Nyhavn website states, this is gastronomy and good atmosphere in historical surroundings. But in addition to that, it is the place where you will take your most picturesque photos. Nyhavn runs from Kongens, Nytorv to the harbor front south of the Royal Playhouse. Nyhavn means new harbor. In 1617, Copenhagen was expanded beyond its original borders by King Christian IV. As part of the city's expansion, the new harbor was excavated in 1671 under King Christian V, who employed the labor of Swedish war prisoners. The harbor was in fact an artificial canal, which serviced the city for 300 years. 0.9 km, 11 mins walking start time, 14:35. Christiansborg Palace duration, 2 hours. Christiansborg Palace is located on a small island in central Copenhagen. It is still used by the royal family for receptions and as their royal chapel and stables, but it is now primarily the seat of the Danish Parliament, Supreme Court, and the Prime Minister's office. Denmark is unique in holding the executive, legislative, and judicial headquarters in one building. Other royal residences stood on this site going back to 1167. It served as the royal residence until 1794. The present-day building is the result of several stages of construction, with the final stage finishing in 1928 and designed by Thorvald Jorgensen. For this reason, there are several architectural styles in the structure. 0.8 km 10 mins walking start time. 1645 Carlsberg Glyptotek Museum duration 1 hour. This is one of the top art museums in the country. It was established by Carl Jacobsen of Carlsberg Breweries in 1888, and the core of museum collection came from Jacobsen's private collection. The word glyptotek comes from the Greek to carve. Here you can see collections of antiquities, French art and Danish art. Please like and comment and subscribe my channel. Day 2. Starting from Town Hall, through the Rosenborg Castle, and ending at the Botanical Gardens. Start time, 9:25. Own hall duration, 30 minutes. The Radhus, or Town Hall, is a magnificent building on Radhus Square, where the 0-kilometer stone is located. At this granite stone, you are in the exact center of the city. Next to the Zero Stone is a fountain dating back to 1925 and marking the point where the former west gate of the city walls once stood. This is also where you can see how many kilometers it is from Copenhagen to other cities. Next to the town hall is a statue of Hans Christian Andersen. Another feature of the square is the bronze statue of the mythical lure blowers, which stands on a 20-meter high column. Town Hall Square is the most expensive real estate in the city and a bustling part of the city. 0.4 km, 5 mins walking start time, 10 no National Museum duration, 2 hours. See Denmark's largest collection of cultural, ethnography, natural science, archaeology, and numismatics from around the world. 14,000 years of Danish history are covered, going as far back as the Ice Age and covering periods like the Middle Ages and Vikings. You can see currencies from various periods and even from other countries. 1 km, 13 mins, walking start time, 12:15 round tower. Duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. The Round Tower is a beautiful and unusual cylindrical structure in the center of the city. The 17th century tower was constructed during the reign of Christiansborg V as an astronomical observatory. The tower was used as an observatory by the university until 1861 and continues to be used by amateurs, along with the observatory. The tower is attached to Trinitatis Church and an academic library, which was purpose-built for the university. The observatory is 675 meters from the ground, has a 7 meters high dome, 6 meters wide, and holds a strong telescope. 0.7 km, 9 mins walking start time, 13:55. Rosenborg Castle duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Rosenborg Castle is 400 years old. It was built in the Renaissance style by Christiansborg V, and the castle was his favorite home and place for throwing lavish parties. Visitors to the castle can see the rooms, which are decorated in period furniture and art, including authentic artifacts, which belong to Christian IV and his heirs. The Castle Museum has been arranged so that you feel like you are walking through the royal home. 0.4 km 5 mins, walking start time, 15:30 National Gallery of Denmark duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. The National Gallery of Denmark, SMK, is the country's largest art museum and holds Danish and international works from the 14th century to present day. The works are arranged in chronological order and in theme areas. The collections include European art, 1300–1800, with works by Titian, Rembrandt, Rubens, and Giovanni Pisano's Head of a Bearded Man. The Royal Collection of Graphic Art, with drawings, lithographs, woodcuts, photography, and more. 0.6 km, 7 mins walking start time, 17:10 Botanical Gardens, duration, 1 hour. The city's Botanical Garden is part of the University of Copenhagen and the Natural History Museum of Denmark. It is located in the heart of Copenhagen, covers 10 hectares, and holds the largest collection of living plants in the country, as well as the country's only gene bank for wild plants. What makes the garden unique is that most of the 13,000 species you see here have been collected from the wild instead of being cultivated. Day 3, starting from Copenhagen Cathedral through the Royal Library and ending at the Tivoli Gardens. Start time, 90 Copenhagen Cathedral duration, 1 hour. Copenhagen's official national cathedral is the Church of Our Lady. Having undergone several changes over the years, the version of the building we see today was completed in 1829 and designed by Christian Frederick in the neoclassical style. Because of a shortage of funds, architectural elements of the previous church, some surviving walls, which stood here, were incorporated into the new structure. The church tower was modeled on the previous medieval church tower. It is 60 meters high and holds 4 bells, including the heaviest bell in Denmark, the largest bell in Denmark, and the smallest bell in Copenhagen. 0.9 km, 11 mins. Walking start time, 10:10 Danish Design Center duration, 2 hours. The Danes are renowned for their clever and innovative designs, and so this is a fitting setting for a museum of this kind. Here you can see decorative and applied arts, as well as industrial designs from the Western world and covering the period from the Middle Ages to present day. There are also exhibitions from the Far East, specifically China and Japan, with pieces from the prehistoric period to modern day. The collection tends to focus on Danish design, from the 1900s to modern day, but the entire museum gives a good overview of Western design in general. There are regular fascinating temporary exhibitions. 0.6 km, 8 mins walking start time, part 12:20 Royal Library duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. The Royal Library has 5 branches, and the main branch is housed in a draw-dropping building called the Black Diamond in Slotsholmen on the edge of Copenhagen Harbor. The building was designed by Schmid, Hammer and Lassen and cost 462.1 million kroner. It covers 2733 2 and has 450 rooms spread over 8 floors. Within the building, there are subject-specific libraries, a concert hall, reading rooms, exhibition spaces, the Queen's Room for performances, and many works of art. The library is also the University Library for the University of Copenhagen. The building is connected to the older original library building via bridge walkways which go above the road. 1 km, 13 mins walking start time, 14:05 Our Saviour's Church duration, 1 hour. Copenhagen is known for its many spires, and the spire of Vor Frelsers Kirke is perhaps the most beautiful. The Baroque church boasts a helix spire with a stairway which winds up the exterior of the tower. The balustrade is gilded gold, so that from a distance it looks like a ribbon has been wound anti-clockwise around the black spire. The 90-meter-high spire is topped by a 4-meter-high figure of Christ. Visitors can climb the spire's 400 stairs to a small platform, which offers amazing views of the city. The church has a magnificent set of bells, the largest carillon in Northern Europe, which ring at intervals throughout the day. 2.1 km, 26 mins walking start time, 15:30 Tivoli Gardens duration, 3 hours. Although one of the top 5 attractions in Copenhagen, the Tivoli Gardens are not open year-round. The pleasure gardens hold an amusement park, 10 restaurants and gardens. It was established in 1843 by Georg Carstensen. At the time, the garden was outside the city walls. It is the second oldest amusement park in the world and one of the parks that gets the most visitors. Over the years, it has been visited by many famous people like Hans Christian Andersen and Walt Disney. The gardens hold something for everyone. There are historic buildings, exotic gardens, and green lawns. Please like and comment and subscribe my channel.